I don't think we're all out here getting screwed over by bad men or crazy women. I think we're just dating a bunch of emotionally underdeveloped people who are really good at Spotify playlists and really bad at intimacy. Because, it's not even about gender at this point. It's just people. People who don't know how to give without measuring. People who think a situationship is the same thing as getting to know someone.
She's completely right about the whole situationship thing, because those will set you up for failure most of the time. Technology, alongside all the changes that have been made to our social norms or expectations, has completely shaken up the dating world. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like the good old days were super glorious, but since the dating game no longer has any rules, people are just out here doing whatever they want. And while a lot of average guys are struggling or have given up the whole dating thing, guys who are considered to be highly desirable by women are having the time of their life.
People who say, I'm just going with the flow, when they're really just emotionally constipated. We've made a whole generation allergic to clarity.
Yeah, she's not wrong there. She's not wrong there at all. Guys will keep women in situationships for years, knowing full well that it's never going to become anything more than what it is. And while this can have a certain effect on men, it can affect women in massive ways, especially when it comes to things like fertility. There are women out here who've been in a situationship for 5 or more years, and the more time they spend with guys who'll never change their mind about what they have going on, the lower their fertility will become as they get older. And if this shit goes on into their late 30s or early 40s, it can be very damaging. Now, of course, older women can have children, but it gets much harder as time passes. And while guys also experience a reduction in their sperm quality, it's nowhere near the same rate as what women experience.
Oh, I don't want to define things because that puts pressure on it. Okay, but you're sleeping at their house 4 nights a week, keeping a toothbrush there, getting jealous and pretending you're chill? You are not chill. You are spiraling in silence and then calling it low maintenance. Situationships are not edgy or evolved. They're just emotional minimum wage jobs with no benefits. You clock in, you do the labor, and you pray to God that they'll promote you to girlfriend or boyfriend after your 6-month review.
Yeah, it's wild to me how people land themselves in these situationships, hoping that one day they'll evolve into something more, which we know is very unlikely. How she describes situationships in this clip is perfect. And once a girl discovers that she's in a situationship with a guy, she needs to end that fast if she doesn't want to find herself on a hamster wheel. Now, I'm sure there are guys who found themselves in situationships who want things to become something more. But more often than not, it's gonna be women who want things to become serious, as guys are more likely to enter situationships because they just want to get off. And this kind of setup gives them regular access to some cheeks. It's a win-win.
And the thing is, it's not just a dating problem, it's a maturity problem. Most people aren't in situationships because it's what they want. They're in them because full-on connection, that requires vulnerability, presence, effort. And you can't do that when your nervous system thinks love is a threat.
This is where I'm going to disagree with her a little bit, because sometimes it's just not that deep. While most women might not be in situationships because they want to be in them, like I said before, a lot of guys are just looking to smash without having to be obligated to anyone. While I can't speak for every guy out there, when I was in situationships with women, it was because there was something about them that stopped me from ever wanting to commit. And I won't be surprised if this is the case for most guys, and even some women out there. Now, towards the end of the clip where she talked about love being a threat, I can kind of get on board with that because there's just so much distrust going around these days. The rate at which people cheat on their partners these days is higher than ever because everyone's easily accessible through things like social media. People who don't want to get their heart chewed up and spat out might not feel like they're ready to give someone the ability to do that. And when it comes to making even deeper connections like marriage, where the risk is even bigger because the law is involved, guys in particular are becoming even more reluctant to entertain it.
So now we got 2 people sitting across from each other, both scared to care first, both pretending they don't want more, both basically playing emotional chicken until someone breaks. And even then, we still call it chill. It's not chill. It's emotionally avoidant purgatory with shared memes and weird eye contact, maybe the problem isn't men or women. Maybe it's just that most people haven't done the work to actually handle love, so they keep building these half relationships that don't require growth, just tolerance. But then we wonder why everything feels hollow.
She really does think that men and women suffer equally when it comes to situationships. And I can promise you, that's just not the case. And there are even studies out there that have explored that. In fact, this one study by Tiarika Jamise Gibson concluded that women often get the short end of the stick in these sorts of setups. This study found that situationships operate within a liminal space, a place of in-betweenness, in which Black women attempt to gain the girlfriend identity by progressing into committed relationships. Situationships appear to be deviations of traditional committed relationships while simultaneously providing a false sense of progression into committed relationships for Black women. I also found that through exhibiting behaviors of emphasized femininity and hegemonic masculinity, situationships appear to be oppressive to Black women's sexual agency and beneficial to men, ultimately seeming to affect how they view themselves and the culture of dating within the Black community. Now I get that this study primarily focused on Black women, but I highly doubt it'd be any different with other races. Anyway, I'll leave a link to this full study in the comments so you can do your own research. But aside from that, what do you guys think about all this? Let me know in the comments.